Welcome to the Prison to Employment 2.0 Regional Partnership and Technical Assistance Grant application presentation. In this application presentation, we will cover team members, overview, goals and deliverables, process and timeframes, application submission, funding requirements, scoring criteria, and reporting requirements. And now the team will introduce themselves.
Program, Angela Mendiles.
Sandy Nieves, and my program analysts who are not with us today are James Hill and Carrie Purdue.
From the field team, I'm Travis Baker.
Hi, and I'm Joe Flores.
From the grants development team, I'm Mike Rosetta.
From the grants development team, I'm Cheney Brown Patterson.
Damon DeLeon.
And Yakwin Hong.
Program overview. Overview. $19 million in regional partnership grants to serve formerly incarcerated or other justice-involved individuals in California. The estimated grant term is January 1, 2023 through December 31st, 2025. Available to 15 regional planning units through the competitive process. Additionally, $500,000 will be awarded to fund a technical assistance team. Corrections Workforce Partnership Agreement. This partnership seeks to provide the state's 15 RPUs with resources that will enable them to better serve the formerly incarcerated by fostering partnerships between local boards, CDCR reentry service providers, CDCR Division of Adult Parolee Operations, CDCR Division of Rehabilitative Programs, county probation departments, employers, and community-based organizations that serve the formerly incarcerated and other justice-involved individuals. Additional information on the partnership can be found in Workforce Services Information Notice 1726 and the Workforce Corrections Partnership page of the CWDB's website. Shared Strategy for Shared Prosperity. The state board is interested in funding applications that further advance the goals of its strategic plan and build workforce system infrastructure and capacity. Prison to Employment aims to advance the broader goals of the California Workforce Development Board. Through collaboration among partners in development of service delivery strategies and alignment of resources to better connect the service supervised population up to employment. Through innovation that creates new or adapts existing approaches or accelerates application of promising practices in workforce development and skill attainment, and through system change that utilizes these funds to incentivize adoption of proven strategies and innovations that are sustained beyond the grant period. Prison to Employment Initiative Funds. P2E 2.0 aims to achieve the same goals as the initial P2E funding through development of the RPUs and their plans to support justice-involved individuals through education, training, and skills development for securing employment, and through the use of supportive services and earn and learn opportunities as outlined in the RPU's plans. Regional plans. Each RPU is required to develop a comprehensive strategy for serving the justice-involved community in their area. Please refer to the regional and local planning guidance link in the RFA on page 4. Eligible applicants. For the regional partnership awards, each region must designate one entity, namely a local workforce board. Technical assistance eligible applicants include local workforce development boards, labor management partnerships, public universities, K-12 and adult education entities, community colleges, community-based organizations, business-related nonprofits, and workforce intermediaries. For-profit businesses or a consortium of such businesses can partner on the TA team, but may not lead the TA team. Eligible participants. Funds awarded under this RFA are designed to address the personal development, training, and employment needs of the California's justice-involved and formerly incarcerated populations. The term justice-involved refers to individuals, adults, and juveniles who are on parole, probation, mandatory supervision, post-release community supervision, or are otherwise part of the supervised population. for the purpose of this program, formerly incarcerated includes any individual who has at any time served a custody sentence in any adult or juvenile, federal, state, or local detention facility, or in any alternative custody program such as home detention.
Awards. All 15 regional planning units are eligible to receive funds under the P2E Regional Partnership Grant. Amounts for those awards will be determined through the state board's evaluation process. Considerations during that process will include completion and comprehensiveness of the application and required documents, the need for services in each RPU's area, the size of each RPU's post-release population, the recidivism rate within each RPU, and prior RPU performance under the P2E program. Technical assistance. $500,000 in funding has been made available for the creation of a technical assistance team. Key roles of the TA team include expertise and capacity building, regional coordination, knowledge sharing and networking, and experience producing materials and media. The TA team will report to and collaborate with CWDB program and policy branch staff. CWDB will continue to provide day-to-day oversight of each grant, including strategic direction and technical assistance. Community of practice. P2E 2.0 will develop communities of practice consisting of grantees, staff, partners, and other key system stakeholders. RPUs will access peer-to-peer learning, technical assistance, share successful program models, and coordinate performance and evaluation activities throughout the community of practice. Each region should plan to attend at least 2 convenings during the grant. Performance. Each grant will be evaluated based on the following criteria: ability to provide the services proposed in the grant to the number of individuals specified in the grant, as evidenced by whether the grantee completed the work proposed, the ability of individuals to successfully complete relevant programming funded under the grant as demonstrated by relevant measures directly related to the purpose of the program, ability of individuals to transition into or be integrated into the broader workforce and education system as demonstrated by enrollments in relevant programs, the ability of individuals to succeed in both the broader workforce and education system, as well as the labor market once they transition into that broader system. This will be measured by tracking these individuals utilizing the existing performance monitoring systems and metrics governing those programs and outcomes once they transition into the broader system. The applicant or fiscal agent for the P2E 2.0 Regional Partnership Grant is responsible for ensuring all program data is captured and that data is, to the extent feasible, complete and accurate. The State Board will provide a data guide to grantees prior to the issuance of grant funds. Sustainability. The CWDB encourages regions to secure other funding sources beyond the life of the P2E 2.0 RFA and to include that information in the application narrative. Other funding sources may include local funds, federal funding, or other state grant funds. Partnerships. Required partners for the regional awards include local workforce boards and existing regional workforce partners, representatives of the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation's Division of Adult Parole Operations, community-based organizations that serve formerly incarcerated and other justice-involved individuals, and reentry service providers. Recommended partners include county probation departments, labor organizations, and joint labor management partnerships, and employers who have labor shortages or who have expressed a history or an interest in employing the formerly incarcerated. Signed MOUs between partners are encouraged, but they are not required for the P2E 2.0 grant.
Program goals and deliverables. The grant funds will be awarded in one contract for both direct services and supportive services. The applicant will need to provide an assessment of the demand for supportive services clearly define services that will be offered and the role of each service provider. Applicants will also need to provide an overview of the regional referral process, connecting to individuals with minimal burden to the recipient. Project goals and deliverables. Project goals and deliverables should include the following: a narrative, a work plan, partner roles and responsibilities, and the participant plan. Process and timeframes. The RFA was released on June 20th, 2022. We will have a live office hours for assistance with the Salesforce platform the week of July 11th. The weekly Q&A posting will start Friday, July 1st, and the final Q&A posting will be July 28th. Applications are due on August 1st through Cal eGrants, and award announcements will be in September 2022. The estimated grant term is January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2025. So dates are subject to change. Significant dates, including cutoff dates and review periods, can be found on the P2E 2.0 webpage. The weekly Q&A. All questions regarding the P2E 2.0 RFA can be submitted to the P2E inbox at p2einfo@cwdb.ca.gov. Please use P2E Q&A in the subject line for all RFA application questions. The Q&A will be posted on the P2E 2.0 website on a weekly basis. Final Q&A will need to be submitted by Tuesday, July 26th at noon, and will be posted on Thursday, July 28th. Salesforce application office hours will be scheduled the week of July 11th. The State Board program staff Salesforce development team will be available to answer questions and walk through the Salesforce process. Funding requirements. The funding amount requests need to be clearly outlined within the budget narrative and budget summary and include a breakdown of all costs per line item and thorough descriptions captured in the budget narrative. Funds cannot be used until the contract is executed or beyond the end of the grant term. Remaining funds will be returned to the state. Requirements for allowable use of funds can be found in the Appendix C of the P2E 2.0 RFA. Funds cannot be used to purchase real property or construction buildings. A max of 20% can be used for admin costs, which include direct and indirect costs. Funds can be used for eligible services provided to participants. A list of eligible activities can be found in the eligible services section of the RFA. Supportive services and earn and learn activities that entail payment for participating in training and other workforce activities are allowable. What are eligible services? Some examples include basic skills in adult education, high school diploma and GED acquisition, work experience or WEX, on-the-job training or OJT, vocational training, basic career services, implementation activities for the team supporting someone from incarceration to post-release employment and or training. Supportive services and earn and learn activities. Supportive services can include services that are necessary to enable a participant to be successful in education, the workforce, or training, and can include such supports as childcare, housing, and transportation. Earn and learn refers to applied learning while in the workplace and receiving compensation to further increase their skill set, which can include WEX and OJT. Refer to page 17 of the RFA for more details regarding supportive service and earn and learn activities.
Scoring criteria. Regional partnership grant scoring includes responses in the following sections: statement of need, partnerships, program framework, data collection and evaluation, innovation and sustainability, with 100 points possible. For the technical assistance grant, the sections will include expertise and capacity building, regional coordination, knowledge sharing and networking, materials and media, also with 100 points possible. Ranking and funding recommendations. Only one grant per RPU may be awarded. Scores will be ranked from highest to lowest. The State Board will take into consideration the following factors: the geographic size of the region, the population size they will be supporting, the demand in the region, and the past program performance with P2E funds. Applications will be rejected for the following reasons: if they are incomplete, if they contain false or misleading information, if there was a substantive negative prior contract evaluation, if they do not comply with a drug-free workplace, if applicant is found to be not responsible, and if an applicant's license is subject to suspension.
Application submission. As part of the CWDB's transition to electronic applications, the P2E 2.0 application process will be located on the Cal eGrants website, and only submissions submitted through Cal eGrants will be accepted. In order to apply for the Prison New Employment 2.0 grant, users of the Cal eGrants site should select the CWDB section of this page shown on your screen. In order to complete an application, you must have or create a Cal eGrants account. If your organization has an account, please request to be added as a user by your organization. Application elements. This slide provides a broad overview of the application elements included in the Prison to Employment Regional Partnership Grant application. Note, for the TA application, some of these sections may not apply. Please refer to the full RFA for a detailed overview of each of these sections. However, an overview will be provided in the following slides. The first section of the application that all applicants will complete is the cover page, which includes organization information, project information, anticipated project costs, the geography of the project, and key contacts, as well as any matching or leveraged funds. Following completion of the cover page, applicants will advance to the project narrative section. This section will include text prompts wherein applicants will submit up to 3,000 character responses in each box. Note, this section will provide the bulk of what is scored in the scoring rubric, so please be as detailed as possible in your responses. As I mentioned, there's a 3,000 character limit per text box, and these fields are rich text fields, which will allow for links to external documents and websites. The next tab will be the Deliverables tab. This part of the application is where applicants will explain their performance measures using a new line for each deliverable. Next, applicants will complete an expenditure plan. This is where applicants will identify key budget items, and this section must be completed in order to move forward to the other budget tabs. The next tab applicants will complete is the budget narrative. The narrative will identify line item allocations, and users should note multiple costs within a line item must be addressed separately. The supplemental budget tab also must be completed if grant funds will be used for leased and or purchased equipment, contract services, and subrecipients. For more information about subrecipients and contracted services, refer to WSD 1806, and that document is also linked in the request for applications document. The next tab in the application is the budget summary. Costs in this section will fall under grant funds or leveraged funds. All grant funds must be allocated to a line item. If grant funds are allocated to equipment purchases, leased equipment, contractual services, or subrecipient services, the supplemental budget must be completed. The work plan tab of the application outlines objectives, activities, and deliverables for each quarter. For activities that span multiple quarters, applicants can list those activities within the new quarter using the naming structure identified here, where you'll use the word continue and then the activity name that was identified in the previous quarter. The participant plan tab of the application is where applicants will identify the target populations and number of participants they seek to serve. This tab will also include information about placement details, where applicants will identify the types of placement by category, by number of applicants per category, number of participants per category. The Partner Roles and Responsibilities tab is where applicants will list all partners and their roles and responsibilities. The application includes fields already populated for those partners, and the applicants will then provide detail as to those partnerships and the specific nature of those partnerships in their region. Applicants should provide information as to whether any matched or leveraged funds will be provided by particular partners. And applicants should ensure that the required partners mentioned previously in this presentation are included with sufficient detail under their respective section of the Partner Roles tab.
Reporting requirements. CWDB will be using the Salesforce system for grantees to report data and project progression. RPUs are required to submit quarterly reports to CWDB that report on elements they outlined in their outcomes section. Required project, partnership, and participant data, along with reporting dates, will be determined prior to grant implementation and will be shared with grantees prior to the start of the grant term. CWDB functions and responsibilities include grant oversight. The CWDB may conduct periodic reviews or request information from grantees throughout the grant term. State board staff will provide day-to-day grant oversight, administrative assistance, and project management, which includes contract, fiscal, reporting, and grant technical assistance. State board staff will also work with the selected TA provider to provide technical assistance and engage in problem solving and capacity building. The funding under this RFA will be provided through the California 21-22 General Fund P2E allocation. Invoicing. The invoicing will be submitted through Salesforce. The state board will provide grantees with additional information on this process. Invoices will be due monthly on the 20th of each month, and if the 20th falls on a weekend or holiday, the invoices will be due the following business day. Conclusion. CWDB staff are available to respond to questions about the P2E RFA at p2einfo@cwdb.ca.gov. P2E RFA appendices and exhibits provide examples of forms, MOUs, expenditures, and answers to contract questions.